Por causa da gravação de amanhã.
Por causa da gravação.
Então, até.
Mas você vai ter que cumprir horários. Vai ter que dar...
O que tá errado?
Acho que não.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to be giving you guys an update about this very toxic lesbian relationship that's actually developed or that have developed on the show called Justiça 2, and it's basically between Milena and Jordana. So this will be a follow-up on how everything ended between the two ladies. To be honest, I definitely wasn't expecting things to end the way it did. Let me tell you, they are toxic, they are intense, they are obsessed with one another, and also at the same time they are going through so much that I was just like, I can't believe that this relationship is actually going this way. But before we get into further details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you guys have also watched it, please let me know your thoughts on it, because like I always say, your opinion 100% does matter. So let's get right into this finale part of their story. So basically where I left it off is that the two started to have a love affair. Everything between them are doing good, but at this time, Jordana still doesn't know that, Milena was the person in charge of the, the elimination of her husband. So now there's a third person in the picture. In this case, the third person is actually, Milena's friend, someone that actually helped her get away with all the crimes that she has also committed, and also the person who actually kept the documents while she was in prison so that she can get close to Jordana. All the situation I explained in part 1. This is follow up. So at this point, Jordana and Milena, they are whole like together. They are basically in love, enjoying each other's company. Jordana is helping Milena with her career. Everything is going good. But then this girl, she starts to make, pressure to Milena, basically tell her, like, I also want a piece of the pie. I know the crimes that you and Jordana have committed. So, I want a job. I want, I want also to progress. I have to gain something from this because I'm keeping a lot of secrets. So Milena convinced, and also, she was honest with Jordana regarding, the reasons behind it. And Jordana was like, okay, if that's what she wants, let's do it. So Jordana actually ends up hiring her as in this case, as Milena's assistant, to be able, to keep her close, just to, like they say, keep your enemies close, and your friends closer, so just to keep her close, to make sure she doesn't go around and, tell the police everything that is going on, because she was also being interrogated regarding, in this Jordana's, husband's passing. Of course, she played it cool. After that, she got what she wanted from Jordana and Milena. She got the job and all of that. So everything was like looking cool. But then the girl started taking pictures of them together while they were, on cast, on duties. And she was like just saving the pictures. And of course, that didn't sit very well with Jordana, because Jordana was like, hey, you already know everything that we did. Now you're taking pictures of us together. It just doesn't sit well with me. And of course, Jordana spoke to Milena about it. And Milena was like, let's just give her time. We don't know what she's going to do. And then also Jordana was like, maybe she does have copies of the document that she have gave us. We don't know. We can trust her. So moral of the story, they decided to eliminate the girl. And that's exactly what happened. The first try they did, it didn't work. The second try they did, it actually worked. Jordana decided to take things into her own hands, and she has done it with the presence of Milena to eliminate her, and that's actually exactly what happened. So after this whole situation, of course, the lover of the girl that was with her, in this case, has decided to go on this journey to decide to figure out what happened to her, because he knew that, Jordana and Milena had something to do with her passing, but he just didn't have the proof for it. And also because he used to work for Jordana's husband, so he and Jordana, they kind of have like a business situation, but not actually. So yes, he decided to go on this journey to figure out what happened, why the girl was eliminated and all of that. And he actually found out that Milena was there, that Milena and this girl actually had something to do with the passing of Jordana's husband. And after that, of course, he approached Jordana and was like, hey, I found out that, Milena, she was at the office where your husband used to, set up his meeting, and I found her bracelet. And the girl that got eliminated, she was also part of it, and they were friends, they knew about each other. And of course, at that point, Jordana was a little bit conflicted, because the last time she spoke to Jordana, in this case, to Milena about it. Milena told her that she had nothing to do with it, that she didn't know the girl, they only knew each other by passing, that they never really had a relationship like that, but it seems like they were actually friends and they always be friends. They always not friends, but they always knew about each other, you know. So of course Milena played it cool. She was like, no, I don't know her. I already told you everything that happened. You have to believe me. I had nothing to do with the passing of your husband. And of course, Jordana, once again, she fell for it. She really, really, really fell for it. And she was just so in love with Milena that she just, at this point, she was just ignoring the facts that, you know, Jordana, in this case, Milena actually had something to do with the passing of her husband. But then the guy also told her, I feel like you know what happened. You just don't want to admit what happened because you are so infatuated by this girl. And Jordana is, and Milena is also is infatuated by her because Milena's mother also feels like that she has to distance herself from Jordana because since they started to have this situation going, you know, Milena is just not the same person. So it's very, very toxic and a very evil relationship, if you ask me. I won't say evil, I will say more diabolical, just the way they are. Like, you guys have to watch it in order to really, really get sense of what I said. So after that, you know, that whole conversation, Jordana planned a trip for her and Milena to go away, to go spend some time together. Of course, she wanted to surprise her. So while they were on vacation, you know, while Milena was resting, Jordana went through her phone and she actually saw one of the first videos the day that her husband got eliminated. She actually saw footage of the girl that, you know, helped Milena do the crime that was eliminated by her in the video. And this when she actually realized that Milena this whole time was lying to her and that she actually had something to do, that she actually had something to do with the passing of her husband. Yes, it's a whole lot, whole lot. But at that very point, Milena woke up and Milena looked at, in this case, at Jordana and basically told her, hey, should we go for a swim? And Jordana was like, yes. So I feel like Jordana always knew that Milena had something to do with it. You know, I feel like she just wanted to hear it from her because at this point they can't get rid of one another. They are too attached. They have done too much stuff to elite, like committed crimes together, and they have this bondage. You know, Jordana is in charge of Milena's career. Milena does love her, we can definitely see that. And also Jordana is very dependable on on Milena in this case, on her emotional state. You know, she's alone, she lost her husband, she has no family, she has no kids, so she kind of had this emotional dependency towards Milena. So they kind of get from one another what they need. So I definitely don't see that Jordana would have done anything if she actually found out the truth that Milena did something to her husband, because the way she acted when she actually put one and one together and finally accepted it, it was like, okay, it is what it is. And they still went for a swim and nothing happened. So hopefully there will be a season 3. To be honest, I really feel like this season does deserve a season 3. I feel like it has so much more to offer. It's truly amazing. Once again, it's called Justice 2, and you guys can watch it on Global Play. And yes, it's in Portuguese, but I feel like there are subtitles available. I would highly, highly recommend you all to go ahead and go watch this couple. 100% it won't disappoint. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I also want to say that I've activated the super stickers to the channel, just in case any of you would like to make a small donation. That will also help us out a lot in order to take the channel to the next level. Let me know your thoughts on this series. Until the next video, until the next review, and goodbye.